You were never mine. Not your eyes, not your hands, not those half-hearted smiles hiding blades behind them. You only thought you had me. Thought I was just another piece on your board. A simple soul, desperate to be seen, desperate to fit into your world. But you were wrong. I was never meant to fit into your tiny frames. I was always outside the picture. You just couldn't see it. Because you were used to the light, and I was born from what came after it. You smiled. I watched. You plotted. I stayed silent. Because I am built from silence, from pain, from wounds that never begged to be healed. They just dug deeper and made me more real. You made me, but not in the way you think. Not with love, not with support. You shaped me with your absence, with your silence, with every stone you threw in my path. And I built stairs out of those stones. I built walls from your closed doors, walls you'll never climb. You only saw me when I fell, only heard me when I screamed. But you never saw the moments when, alone in the dark, I rebuilt myself. When with bleeding hands I climbed out of the pit you left me in. You were strangers to my deaths, so you have no right to be present at my rebirth. Now that I'm back, it's not for you. It's not to prove anything. I came back because I realized no one was going to save me. Because I finally understood. The world isn't fair, and people don't always care, and that's okay. Because I'm not here to be understood anymore. I'm not here to be judged. I'm not here to earn anyone's approval. I just want my footsteps to shake the ground, my gaze to crack the walls, and my presence to cast a long shadow over the ones who once celebrated the idea of my absence. I was born the moment I had nothing left to lose. When silence wrapped around me and night stretched longer than hope itself, I found a small light inside, not the kind that sparkles for everyone to see. Number A, quiet warmth, flickering, soft, but mine. That light became my guide back. They still don't realize I'm not the same. They think they can return with the same words, the same glances, the same worn-out tricks and find a way back into my peace. But my peace now has walls, stone walls, tall and doorless, not out of spite, but out of clarity. I no longer let in anyone who plays the victim with blood still on their hands. I've made peace with pain, befriended failure, sat down with loneliness until we no longer feared each other. And now, I'm at peace with myself, the version of me that rose from the dust, that took shape in the fire. I don't need to prove I survived. My presence speaks louder than any of the words you never said. I've tasted the bottom, crawled through it with bruised knees and a cracked heart, with eyes too dry to cry. And at that exact moment when there was nothing left, something inside me flared, a quiet power, a steady rage, an irreversible decision. Anyone who wants to reach me now must first walk through my fire. I'm not the kind of hero who runs in to save everyone. I'm not a light for anyone to warm themselves by. I'm the line, the threshold, the gatekeeper, and above all, I am now the guardian of myself. This world, which once taught me that solitude is terrifying, has now shown me that if you face it, nothing else can scare you. And I did. I stood before it. No screaming, no performance, just presence. And now anyone who looks into my eyes knows there is no longer need, only choice. only will. I'm not one of those who forget the past. I don't forgive because I haven't forgotten. Not out of bitterness, but out of clarity. Some scars aren't meant to fade. They're meant to remain, to remind us where we stood, who we were, and why we're no longer that person. I don't look back to grieve. I look back to make sure I never walk that road again. There were people who approached me with smiles and left with knives. People who called control, friendship, and possession love. But I don't fall for that anymore. I don't trust words. I watch actions. I follow the direction of footsteps, not the sound of lips. I came back from the smoke and ashes, not to explain, not to justify. I came back for those who watched me burn, so they could now burn with the sight of my resilience. I'm not here to convince anyone. If someone wants to see the truth, they don't need persuasion. And if they don't, no amount of light will open their eyes. They measured me by themselves, thought I'd break easily because they do, thought I'd tremble in storms because they do. But I was forged by those storms. Those tremors made me solid. The screams that choked in my throat became a voice that now makes silence kneel. I no longer seek chances to exist. I am the chance. I don't wait for a turn. I created one from the void, because I learned the world doesn't keep a spot warm for you. Either you become the voice, or you disappear in the noise. And I am the voice now, a voice that echoes not to be heard, but to awaken. A voice carved from pain, not habit, from struggle, not imitation. And this voice won't go quiet again, because there's no fear left to silence it. Now that I'm standing, there's no tremble in my knees. My footsteps are firm, not to intimidate anyone, but to remind myself I made it. I've arrived at the place that once was only a blurry dream in the dark, and now I am that dream, sharp, real, ablaze. I'm not here to save anyone, not out of cruelty, but because I've learned that no one can be lifted who doesn't want to rise. Those who wait for rescue are still waiting on belief, but I don't wait anymore. I believe, not in people, not in promises, but in myself, because I was the one who lit a torch in the endless night and carved a path with my own hands. I don't want revenge, because I've learned the best revenge is to live, to endure, to thrive, right in front of the ones who wished you gone. You see, where I'm standing now wasn't taken with noise or begging. It was earned, through fight, through patience, through building something out of nothing. I don't need anyone to believe in me. Those who seek truth will find me. I now live as myself, not in someone else's story. I'm not searching for validation in anyone's gaze, because those who truly see don't use their eyes, they feel with the heart. Those who once buried my name in silence must now hear my voice in every pause, because I've become that voice, the echo of the pain that passed, but never left. The reminder of what rose from the soil and said, I'm still here, and stronger than ever. This isn't the end. It's a beginning forged from all the endings before it. Now that the world is spinning again, I stand in it, steady, free, unshaken. And anyone who dares approach this path must know, this is no longer a playground. This is a kingdom paved with tears, fortified with scars, and lit by pure will. I am now myself, unmasked, unbound, unafraid. And that is the most powerful thing I could ever become.